What's up, fellas? Guess we're going to talk about Sha'carri. Excuse me. I'm sure you guys probably already know that Sha'carri ran into Prefontaine this weekend. And she ran a stunning race. I'm sure everyone was just dumbfounded by her outstandingness in her race. Let me quit. Let me stop. That's not exactly what happened. She actually lost. She came in like ninth place, dead last. And before that, during the Olympics, she wrote her little tweet about everybody missing her yet, as if the Olympics wasn't exciting without her presence, and just trash talking as usual. I think that as an athlete, as an ex-athlete, I understand the importance of being humbled and staying focused before you run. And that's out of respect for your fellow competitors, as well as to your craft, the sport itself. That's why, everyone used to talk so much about sportsmanlike conduct. I think that's kind of fallen off nowadays, because clearly she engages in unsportsmanlike conduct, constantly on and off the track. But she came on. She was flexing before the race, as if she was going to, blow everybody out, but she took a month off by her own admission before the Prefontaine, which I think is crazy. If you're a sprinter, you can't take off. You have to stay sharp. That means you got to run. You got to continue the same regimen that got you up to tip-top shape. And one of the indicators that she didn't stick to her original regimen is because, even in the last race, that we saw her, that everybody was all hyped up for, thinking that she was going to blow Flojo's record out. She beat everybody that ran, plus her teammates. This time she lost to the entire Jamaican team, her teammates, and the other competitors, Canada and, the other folks too. That's, she's got to be feeling horrible. She's got to be feeling, well, she didn't show any indication that she felt, horrible or humbled in any kind of way. She basically cussed everybody out at the end. She's not done yet. Y'all can talk all the shit you want, is what she said, to the interviewer, which was crazy. Nobody else got an interview, but nobody else gave a, boisterous, interview like she gave, after the race. They just went back in. They just went back into the locker rooms. They were directed off the field, and that was that. Nobody was out talking shit. Hey, I blew her ass out. Nobody was doing any of that. But for some reason, she feels like this is necessary. And then what's so crazy about it is there are certain sectors of our community that act like they can't live without that shit. They have to have this over the top reality TV type, drama that she brings to the sport, and they love it. You know, I heard people saying things like she deserved to win. She didn't deserve shit because she didn't train to stay where she was in top form in order to win. I mean, and that just goes to show what the everybody's a winner crowd has brought into our culture. You know, you don't deserve nothing. You deserve what you can take. That's what a competition means. You have to compete. You know, so I'm looking around, you know, and you know, I'm looking at the some of the commentary that's going on, you know, and people are just tearing her to pieces, and you know, and Twitter and whatnot. You know, you got TMZ. Sha'carri fell behind quickly in the women's 100-meter race. There she is, dead last. They got a big red arrow right there showing her in at the end. You see both of her teammates at the top. You know, all the Jamaicans just beat the smoke dust off of her. It's ridiculous. I was dumbfounded. But I knew it was going to happen. I mean, you're focused on everything but being the best sprinter. I mean, you're on Instagram, you know, getting your hair done and changing up your hair color, and everybody's worried about what kind of nails you're going to have and what kind of lashes are you going to have, and you know, and all this type of trash, you know. Got your raptor claws out, you know. All this stuff is unnecessary, you know, but I guess it's necessary nowadays. This is what, you know, women feel like they have to have in order to bring something extra to the race, you know, to be top grade, I guess. You know, I don't know. It just, shit looks crazy to me. I mean, I've never had to, you know, do any of this or go through any of this. I don't think any of my coaches would have even tolerated some of the shit that I see nowadays. But you know, the cocktails crowd was talking, you know, trying to, you know, essentially save her, you know, telling her to stay classy, you know. But was she ever classy? I mean, look at the pictures. I mean, was she ever classy? I mean, does that look classy to y'all? Is that what we consider to be classy, even on terms of being an athlete? You know, off the, you know, the track. I mean, maybe that ain't even classy out the track. I mean, that's some of the very things that we as black men have been talking about all along. We've been talking about, you know, some of this stuff is just not necessary. Some of this stuff that they feel like they have to have in order to have confidence is not necessary. You know? Like I said, the winner didn't talk trash. You know, they walked right behind her, looked into the camera, didn't even say anything, just smiled at the camera, and they kept on going. I mean, no over-the-top interviews. You know, the cocktails, you know, ladies, they were on there basically just, you know, rah-rahing her. But some of them didn't really care for her, you know, talking trash. You know, before the race, after the race, they said they had an issue with it. It was uncomfortable for them to watch that. But it seems like nobody really wants to step out there and say, look, you need to rein some of that in, you know? Some of that energy that you're expending talking shit, you should probably focus that towards being the best sprinter in the world. Like you said, what's your goal? Is your goal to be a spectacle for the folks who interview you and for the folks who spectate these races? Or are you trying to be the best athlete that you can be? If you're trying to be the best athlete you can be, you're not going to be concerned about your nails, about what color your hair is and all that type of shit. Now, you're going to have your uniform that you wear. You're going to make sure that your spikes are the best. And that's it. That's it. You're gonna make sure you're eating right. You're gonna make sure you're doing what you need to do in order to keep that speed up. All that weave and shit creates drag, you know? All those nails and all that, you know, there's a possibility you might break one off and then be distracted enough to where you may not do well in that race, you know? You weren't, like I said, I mean, I can go on and on about this, but you're worried about things that you shouldn't be worried about and that have no bearing on what you're trying to do. It's actually inhibiting your ability to fulfill your goal. So, you know, to me, she got exactly what a man would have got talking shit like she did, you know? So a lot of women were concerned about how people basically loved her at first and then hated her, you know, after that, and, you know, talked all this trash about her. No, she brought it on herself. When you write a tweet, "Miss me yet?" you should have been silent and said, "Hey, I'm supportive of the American team, and I'm right there with you guys in spirit." That would have got you some good, you know, some good press. Okay. But no, you didn't do that. And then before the Prefontaine, you're on Instagram getting your hair done and posing and just 110% sass and trash talking, you know? So you did that right before the Prefontaine. So you know those girls were waiting on you. They were waiting on you. And they put everything they had into making you look like a damn fool. That's what talking shit gets you. But for some reason, you know, you don't understand that. You know, there is a politics of it. Now, yeah, you can talk shit to people and you can kind of throw them off their game, but then you have to know who you're dealing with. And apparently you don't know who you're dealing with. These Jamaican chicks been destroying people for years. And the men too. But you'll learn. You will learn. You know, she came off like a Myron to me. I mean, Myron's a shit talker too, man. On the Fresh and Fit, you know, he comes off like somebody you would love to hate, you know? Now, Myron focuses that shit talking and shitty behavior towards the guys that he's been around and the women that he has on the show too. Now, I used to be a big fan of them, you know? It was nice watching them basically pick these women apart, although I feel like he pulled a lot of that from Kevin, but that's a whole nother show. So, you know, you don't want to come off like someone who people will love to hate, who people wish, you know, as hard as they can, would lose so that they could have something to say about you, so that they could see you suffer in some way. You don't want to be that. And that's why somebody needs to come back, take this woman under their wing and show her how to be classy, show her how to focus on what she needs to focus on and build her image into something that can be branded to where she can make a living off of this. Because this shit right here, this is not it. Now I understand, you know, she fell off. She said, you know, with her mom, you know, mom died and everything. And she, you know, she partook of the weed and everything. And I can understand it. I cannot, you know, shit on her for that. Okay, I give that to you. But then after this race, she's like, well, I've gone through all of this stuff and everything that I've been going through. Okay, you took a month off. You use your mom for the weed. Now you just use your mom for the loss with the Prefontaine. I mean, how many more times are you gonna use your mom? You know, this right here, this loss that you just took is gonna show us exactly who you are. Are you a warrior? Or are you just going to be a lover of excuses? You're going to get down and do what you need to do and train hard, because this season is not going to last forever. It's not going to be, there's not many more races you can race to continue to be one of the top runners. Because, you did last. If this was a qualification, you wouldn't even been in there. She has to know the gravity of where she is and what her situation is, for you to even lose against the teammates that you beat in the first race, that just shows that you are way off your game. But this loss, it's going to build character for her. So for people who are rooting for her, I think that now is the time, for people to kind of, rally around her and tell her to basically suck this all in, take in all the lessons that this loss, is sending her way, so that she will be a better athlete for it and a better person for it. I fault her coach. I fault everybody that's around her. They failed her. Back in the day, if we were around somebody with that much talent, we would not allow them to fail. Nah, you're not going to be over here with these people doing that shit. You get your ass back over here. Whether it be football, track, whatever. It's like, nah, you need to stay away from them. Cut that out. I don't know that that's happening with her. I think people are just there and they're just saying, yeah, Sha'carri, do whatever. Do whatever and we'll love you. And that's doing her a disservice. But I think people need to look at who are these people behind Sha'carri, and that would let her fall off as much as she did before this race. And that needs to be done quickly. Or, her career is going to be over. And then she'll be trying to find something else to do, something that that over the top attitude and everything that she's putting forth here. This is supposed to be the very things that Black women are not supposed to be, but it's right there for you to see. You find no fault in yourself, but you're pointing the finger at everybody who might talk trash about you, and you talking about you're not done, and all of that. I'm just saying, man, it looks horrible. It's a horrible spectacle. It was fun to watch though. And, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I thought this was probably how it was going to turn out, because she's grief stricken, obviously. And, you can fall off when you're grief stricken like that. You can lose your way. And I think she lost her way for a time. So now it's time for us to help her get it back, But I think I said all I need to say about this one. It's really some craziness, but I think we're going to finish up, just looking at some of the Twitter posts, that I found. I want to thank go ahead and, congratulate the ladies, who did, win the race and everything. And that's another thing, these Black women are, mad as hell, but Black women won. You had one that you liked that lost, but you have a whole damn team of Jamaican Black women that won, and you're not uplifting them. You're not saying, hey, the sisterhood won. Y'all saying the hell with the sisterhood if the hood rat didn't win. So as you can see, they got really, really colorful. I had a lot of fun with those just going down. They're saying, the empty barrel, making the most noise, all that nonsense. The last place airbender. Wow. Got the Jamaican chicks asking her if she's good. You good, my friend? Well, what can you say, man? What can you say? They got her with that voodoo magic.
Voodoo magic. Fucking voodoo magic, man.
All right, y'all. Like, share, and subscribe, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I'm going to try to get a few more out this week. It's been rough. But I'm going to do my best to get a couple more out for you. Something a little bit more educational. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I guess I'll see you next time.
I feel like a motherless child a long way from home. A long way from